Hello, everyone. I am Linda Faye Willis, and I am honored to be here today with my daughter in the gospel, Kimberly Houston, who is running for mayor. Kimberly, if you don't mind, I would just like to jump right in.
Okay.
And I would like for you to tell us what type of campaign will you be running?
My campaign is going to reflect the same kind of leadership that I've given the last 8 years on the city council. It will be one that's positive, one that's focused on the issues, and one that's going to reflect why I am the best choice for your next mayor.
So why are you stepping down from councilwoman?
Yeah, about that, that was a real tough decision for me because I have served the city council for the last 8 years, but it's important that I be in the right position to really bring the change that I want to see. As your mayor, I can make sure that I have the right people in the right positions. As a mayor that is coming from a background of being on the city council, I can make sure that that relationship between the administration and the city council is strong and solid and very transparent, where we are truly working together. As the mayor, in that mayor's seat, I can make sure that we have interlocal agreements and partnerships with vital community partners to make sure that we're leading this city and including everybody in the process of getting Meridian from being a city that's full of potential to one that's fully functioning as the queen that she is.
Before I get into some of this controversy, could you, for clarity's sake, could you expound upon the process of giving money to charitable organizations?
Okay, so I gather this is probably dealing with the Youth Excitement team and that contribution that the city gave there. But let me just answer your question, the process. Every year, and we are starting back to do that. We took a break because of our financial situation with the city. But every year, we give monies to nonprofit charitable organizations who apply. Once they apply, each council member has an opportunity to put down how much money they would like for that particular organization to receive. I never put anything down for Youth Excitement Team because, of course, at that time, that was my husband's organization and I can't give them any money. But other people put monies down for that particular organization. So once everybody has their monies down, that money is divided out. We give the average of the monies that was put down. And then we vote on the overall contributions list so that these charitable organizations can have what they need. I made an error. I made a mistake. It was an oversight on my part. Even though I did not put any money down on the paper, I found out from social media that I had done something wrong. And once it was brought to my attention that my voting on the overall contribution list as a whole and not pulling Youth Excitement Team out of that mix, it put me in a place where it looked like I was giving Youth Excitement Team money. As soon as I got the word on that, I called the then attorneys for the city, found out what I needed to do. They recommended that the best thing to do was to pay that money back. I talked it over with Pastor Houston. Youth Excitement Team paid the money back. I did not get any type of phone calls from the State Ethics Commission, nothing from the State Auditor's Office. Nothing from the Secretary of State's office. There was no wrongdoing in that. It was simply an oversight. And when we found out that there was an issue, we did immediately correct that. I'm always going to be accountable. If I mess up, I don't mind saying that I messed up. I think the important thing to realize here is that I did what was necessary to make sure that the monies were put back in good faith, that the money was returned, and that all parties involved understood what was going on.
Okay. You've taken some heat for some of the decisions on the city council, specifically the $12 million paving bond.
Yes.
So can you expound upon that?
The paving bond, it was somewhat controversial, but for those of us who are tired of bumping around on these streets, it's a good thing. Let me, if I could, can I paint a picture?
Absolutely.
I'm a homeowner. So when things go wrong in the home, and you're a homeowner too.
Yeah.
So when things go wrong at home, and if it's something major like a roof or, something serious happens, the foundation shifts, you can't wait until you've saved up money to address those issues. When the roof is leaking, you might have to go down to the credit union and borrow the money to get that issue repaired. Our streets are in disrepair. They didn't happen overnight, but they are in disrepair and they are in need of some right now attention. And so with this $12 million bond, we are able to make sure that we get that process started. And I know some folks were asking, what about the $7 million bond that was passed a few years ago that was supposed to address the paving issue? Yes, we did pass a bond several years ago. And the problem with that was we didn't fund it. We got the equipment, we got everything in place, but we didn't think all the way down the road, how are we going to pay for the asphalt? And $12 million, by the way, is not enough money to pave every street in Meridian. I mean, we're talking about probably $100 million. If we really wanted to just come in and pave everything in Meridian, it would cost a lot of money to do that. With this $12 million bond, it gives us the necessary things to get started. And I'm really excited about this part because now that we are receiving sales tax dollars from the internet sales in Mississippi, the state is also going to be filtering money down specifically for infrastructure that we can use to pay the bond back or either invest in more paving. The current sitting city council that I'm a part of, we said that when there are monies left over at the end of the year, we want to make sure that we take those $1 million, at least $1 million, and put it inside of the Public Works Department so that we now have the funding sources to make sure that paving is ongoing and continuous. And so I'm excited about the paving bond. We wouldn't have been able to do that without that paving bond. And it's just a shot in the arm to get us going. Meridian should be able to appreciate our efforts that's going to be going forward in paving.
Tell us, how will you involve citizens in the decision-making process that directly impact their lives?
One of the first things that I want to make sure that I do is making sure that the city council and the administration are like this, that we're walking together. The reason why that relationship is important is we have 5 city council members, and they represent the 5 different areas of Meridian. It's 5 wards in Meridian. And each one of those city council representatives is basically the liaison between the people they represent and then the mayor's office. So if I have a good working relationship with the city council members and they have a good working relationship with the people that they represent, when they send in work orders, when they call, when they whatever, when they have their community meetings and I'm there to say, hey, how can we work together to make sure that the needs of the people are being met? Right now, we're not getting that because there's such a divide between the city council and the administration. There just seems to be controversy. There just seems to be these issues that for whatever reason, we cannot seem to work together. And so me knowing the importance of that relationship and how those council members represent the people that they represent, and I, as your mayor, I would represent the entire city, that relationship has got to be solid. That's how the citizens will win. Because when they talk to their council person, that council person, when they talk to me, it's not going to be about, how I can hold things up because they're looking too good. It's not going to be about me going and handling something so that I can get all the glory. No, we're going to walk through this together because together we win. We go at it together that we can go further. We can get more done and we can impact this city in a way that it has not seen.
If elected, how would you ensure the financial stability of the city?
Wow. Okay. That's a good one. Again, working with the city council controls the money. But my administration, my CFO, and all my department heads, when we set a budget, we're going to make sure we're presenting them with real numbers. We're going to make sure that, there's a fair process with our community partners having an opportunity to really bid on jobs. It bothers me that the same companies seem to always come in with the lowest and best bid. And it may just be that that's how it is. But then when you have conversations with some of the other folks that do paving, some of the other folks that do demolition, some of the other folks that do some of the things that this city needs, and they say, well, Kim, I never got a phone call that y'all were even taking bids for that. I was told that y'all already had somebody to do that job. When you hear these kind of things happening, we want to make sure that we have a fair process so that our vendors know that they have an opportunity. Every vendor will have a fair opportunity to do work for the city of Meridian.
Kim, what would you like to share with us?
Thank you for doing this interview and talking to me a little bit about why I want to be mayor. But if I could, talk to the citizens, I would ask you to come out on April the 6th. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, wherever you are. If you are a resident in the city of Meridian, check your voter registration status. Make sure that, if you haven't voted in a while, that you are eligible to vote and know where your precinct is. If you're not registered to vote, I encourage you to take care of that right now. Do not put it off. You can download the application from the Secretary of State's website. And then on April the 6th, come out and vote for Kim Houston. I am truly the best choice. I've talked to you today about my connectivity to you and this community shows that I'm ready. I'll be ready on day one to move this city in a different direction. And so I'm asking for your vote on April the 6th. Vote Kim Houston. Again, I thank you for this time.
It's been my pleasure. And I am Linda Faye Willis with Kim Houston, our next mayor. I hope that you have enjoyed this conversation just as much as I have. And thank you so much for spending time with us. And remember, don't forget to vote.